Thank you.
Can you please grab her? I feel terribly that I ran over.
Sabrina, what's the finance charge on this? I'm trying to find that.
Can I return them before you adjourn, and we'll go over if we are doing a Tuesday?
Yeah, we can go over it Tuesday.
Okay.
If you guys,
Does it
Yeah.
say finance charge?
there is finance charge on here, but I don't know what the percentage is. Hi, Ashley. I
Hello.
am terribly sorry that we ran over. I was trying to get us out of here a little sooner, but
You are fine, not a big deal at all.
Yep.
how are you?
Good,
How are
pass it.
you? Good.
Pass it.
Hey.
Hey.
Great to see you all. Oh, you got goodies for us.
I do have goodies. I always have goodies. I don't have pins this year though. I forgot to get those.
Isn't that Vicki? That Jane for Water Resources, Joanne will bring it. That's to put the bids out.
Okay, okay.
So there's.
I'll just pass it down.
Perfect. And then a bookmark.
Okay. Hi, Miss Ashley. How are you
Hello.
guys today?
I'm good. How are you?
Nice
to meet you. Yes, nice to meet you too. So everyone, I have Tessa here with us today. So I'm gonna have her speak here in a little bit before I'm gonna give you an update here first.
Okay.
Well, good to see you all. So 4-H, I know 4-H week is coming up, so I just want to give you guys a few quick updates. So in 2020, we did have 838 youth in Portage County specific. That was in over 38 different clubs. We had 181 volunteers, so we trained, yep.
Is that an increase of what you normally see? I mean, I'm just asking because of COVID,
Right.
so I'm just-
Honestly, it's about the same. So when I got here, I think we had about 170. That was like 6 years ago. So it's a little bit of an increase, but it's still right around on track with what we normally do. And then we had last year, so a little bit different. Of course, we had to shift our focus a little bit last year. So we did what was called special interest clubs, and so they were virtual clubs that were focused specific on a different topic. One of the ones that I led was an outdoor explorer club, which was kind of like basically talking about different topics each week throughout the summer. Like one week we talked about birding, and then we had the kids go out and find some different birds. So we tried to keep it, relevant for them last year as much as we possibly could. So we had 220 youth involved in those. So another great thing with 4-H is we do have some free books that are available to our youth this year. We have about 13 different ones.
Yeah.
Normally they're $6 a piece. And you can find those in the family guide, but some of the free ones that I just want to point out to you all this year are ones on Your Thoughts Matter. So that's a book on mental health, and so having the kids work through their mental health
Yeah.
and learn about that. So that's a great book that is free for anybody. A couple other ones are Ohio Birds, Explore the Outdoors, Get Started in Art, and Let's Start Cooking. So a lot of great resources that are available for free. We do have a free program again. It's called Real Money, Real World. It's a financial literacy program. I know we've promoted it in the last week with Brad Cromes, but that is a free program, and it's all about everything dealing with financial literacy. So if you guys ever know of any schools or classes, we have emailed out to the local schools. But if you know anybody that wants that free curriculum, just have them contact me.
You know what, you might want to talk to Brad Cromus,
Yeah.
because he has this wellness fair, this financial wellness fair
Yep.
every year. I mean, I'm sure he would be very interested in that, and that is something that's so important. The schools have improved,
Yep.
but they're still far from where they should be.
And the beauty of it, with everything, being with COVID this year, they've made all that content free and virtual. So they've made a lot of videos across the state to talk about things like credit or, education and everything like that. So yeah, another great free program. And then looking forward to 2021, we did receive 2 grants. One from Ohio 4-H Foundation. We received $7,000. We are going to be doing a precision agriculture grant with drones. So kind of teaching our 4-H kids about precision agriculture and that you can use drones and fly drones and get precise data from that. And then another one we got was for 25 iPads. So we do have iPads in our county. We are looking, and hopefully we can get some teams on board as well to teach some coding things, so getting into that STEM side of things as well. So that's a quick update for me. I'm going to turn it over to Tessa and have her talk about her 4-H experience.
All right, so hi.
Hi.
I'm Tessa Wood, and I've been a 6-year 4-H member. I'm in everything under the sun 4-H club, and I've taken so many projects. I've taken breeding rabbits, cooking, sewing. I've even taken the laundry project and financial literacy projects also. And I've even taken the Your Thoughts Matter one, and I thought that was a wonderful project because I got to reflect more. I got to learn about some harmful sentences that could be said and how it impacts others. But my favorite project would have to be my model rocket project. I started off by taking the 2-liter bottle rocket project, and I was awarded with the top 20% in the state. So I moved up to the solid.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I moved up to the solid fuel rockets, which is this. You put a little solid fuel cartridge in there. And I was actually awarded best in state. This is a plaque trophy.
Nice.
What grade are you in?
I'm 10th grade. Yeah.
Your mom's Marcella.
Yeah.
Yes, I know you look like your mom. That's why I was like, you're Marcella. So I didn't say that.
Yeah, my mom's Marcel. But one thing that was cool was I was the only girl, to my knowledge,
I was
that
just gonna
participated in the
say,
state.
girl
Yeah.
power. Good job.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the model rockets was like definitely my favorite. Although I do like showing rabbits in the fair and some of my other things. But I don't only take projects. I am a volunteer with Ashley, actually, for Car Teens, where I inform teenagers with driving infractions about distracted driving and the dangers of that. And me and my partner run different activities to help inform teenagers and help them work through and just know the dangers of it. I'm a member of Teen Leadership Council at a state level where I work to kind of like blur the 4-H lines between the different states, because right now it's very Ohio 4-H, Illinois 4-H, but I'm hoping to blur that a little bit and just have a national system where more than just different subcommittees. So that's one of the things I'm doing for that. Recently, I'm one of 20 Ohio delegates to be chosen for the Ohio Youth Capital Challenge, where I'll work closely with lawmakers. I might talk to you guys later about this, to draft a bill to help either at a county level or a state level, just some mandate just to help better the community. I'm also, through 4-H, I've also been allowed to visit a space camp where I worked. Yeah.
Where was that at?
It was at Marietta College, and it was, I know, I went there my 7th grade year, and then I got to this one wasn't made there, but I got to make rockets like this, and that's actually where I fell in love with the project. And it was really fun, and that's my second favorite camp I got to go through. My favorite one was in DC. It was for middle schoolers. I was in 9th grade at the time, and it's grades 7 through 9. And I got to go there for about a week, and I got to learn. I got to go to the different Smithsonian museums and learn about my leadership type. It was like easily like one of the best experiences I've ever had. I've also participated in the public speaking competitions, and that's probably why I'm so comfortable being here today, just talking in front of like important people. And it's really cool, and that's one of like my favorite things. Just being able to talk in front of people and being comfortable with that. I go to a school that's very, very high demand, and I would say I'm more comfortable than some of my peers in that, and it's just.
So you're not sitting around with your peers doing this?
That's half of it.
You're on the photos.
I'm also into technology, so that's part of it.
Well, yeah, sure. But you know, when I see young people in the same room doing this rather than talking, I talk to each other, you know?
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, and I've also discovered some of my career interests, like coding. I'm super into that, so maybe I'll be able to help out with a technical thing. I helped my partner with the iPad, where we just kind of play with the program that the kids are going to be using, and it's so much fun. So I'm hoping to go to college in Ohio maybe, about technology and some of the other things, so hopefully some of that.
I'll look forward to seeing it. Wait till I see your mom. I see her at the fair and everywhere. So.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We have a proclamation for you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Did we want to get a picture, try to spread us out, and
I was going to say,
whatever you feel comfortable?
you can get Tessa in it. I'm happy to take it.
Oh.
How are you? Good, how are you? Congratulations. Thank
And
you.
Are you going to take any information?
I don't have to be in it.
I need signatory now.
Oh, you take it with your phone? Yeah, we gotta bring Tessa
It doesn't
down
matter.
here.
Either
So
way.
we can put her in the middle, let us
Either
maybe
way works.
spread us out here a little bit. Her mask on. Can you see, or do we need to move because we got plexiglass?
Yeah, there's plexiglass in the way.
And maybe we
I'll
can
find it.
shuffle down
a bit.
Yeah, scoot down a little bit and spread out so we can get past the plexiglass here. Put our mask on.
Oh, you're in the plexiglass, Tony.
All right, get in there, Ashley. You can,
Oh, can we move that chair? Kind of looks.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Be better.
Ish, or is that in the way?
and this is a proclamation that we're presenting recognizing 4-H week, I believe it is, or yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ohio 4-H week.
Vicki, you turn your head, sorry. Okay. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
So
Thank
here you
you.
go. And tell your members like hello.
All right, I will.
Congratulations. Thank you,
Great
Ashley.
job.
I always love when you come in, you bring us goodies. And I just threw my mask in the wash.
Did
She
you?
gave us a 4-H mask
This is
last
one of my
year.
favorite masks.
Nice job.
Well, thank you all. If you guys
Thank
ever
you
have
very
any
much.
questions about 4-H, just let me know.
All right, we
Good
sure
seeing
will.
you all.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you.
Tessa.
Bye-bye.
Nice meeting you.
I'll send it to you.
Okay. Sorry, we're a couple minutes past public comment. The first one we have, I believe, is Mr. Ames. Mr. Ames, did you want to come up for public comment? You got
Sure.
5 minutes.
Very well.
Just a reminder, not to be rude.
Well, there has been much consternation in the newspaper, different media about live stream video. And I'm actually pleased to see that private enterprise has solved that problem for us. As we can see today, we have live stream video here, courtesy of private enterprise, the Portage. And I think that's great, you know. I think we can put that one to bed. We don't need to talk about that anymore. So, you know, so that pretty much answers that question, you know, that I had. So the idea, though, that whenever we have a disagreement, you know, with our public body or something like that, that we set up a page that bombards them with form email messages to say that, and then we report that, oh, you know, we've got them under our thumb here with our email messages, you know, what they say, over 100, and that, I'm like, you know, that's not a service to the public, you know, that's not serving the live streaming, that is great, you know. That was the easy solution, rather than bombarding the commissioners with email messages, you know. So, you know, I think that you know, we have other problems that are more pressing. And, you know, whatever we can solve ourselves, we should do that, you know. And you know, I considered, you know, adapting my camera to live stream. The consideration of doing that is that I'm recording at high definition, so I have high definition video files that anybody wants to use them for something or other. You know, the quality is a lot better than what can be live streamed. So, you know, I would probably end up with 2 cameras, one live streaming and one doing the high definition still. So, the other remark I want to make is that there's limited space in here, okay? And right now we have 2 cameras with 3 people running them. And we have 4 spaces out there, you know, and another report. So, you know, we should look at, you know, some way to have one person running all the cameras so that people that are here just to run cameras don't need to come. And, that's common where they pull reporters, things like that. I'm going to explore the possibility of doing that. Might relieve a burden for me. It might work out for everybody. So, that's something that we should think about, because I'm noticing that there were 4 spaces available whenever there were 2 people here. And that was being taken up by people who were not really public. They were here for reporting, and that. So that's probably not fair to the public. I guess that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Ames.
Thank you, Mr. Ames. Okay, and I think next we have, is it Janice Simmons Mortimer? Mortimer? Okay, please come up tonight. Janice.
Just say your name and your address, please.
Sure, Janice Simmons Mortimer, and I live in Hiram.
Okay.
You've never seen me before. Although I've lived in Portage County since 2011, lived just across the border in Geauga County prior to that. My husband and I both own small businesses. I have a senior at Crestwood, and I also have a freshman at Kent State. So we are very much a Portage County type of family, but yet you've never seen me. I'm a member, as well as my 2 daughters, of the League of Women Voters of Northern Portage County. My oldest daughter and I were also helping with the elections. We served as poll workers on election day, and also were downstairs for early election for probably the month, nearly, one daughter nearly daily, working the polls for early election. Very civic oriented.
Thank you. Yes.
My daughter, who's a senior in high school, won the Americanism in Government trip to DC from the American Legion. We are, again, very civic oriented, but you've never seen me before. So why am I here? Well, I'd like to disagree with Mr. Ames. I feel like, having lost so much in the pandemic, we've all lost a lot, but something that the 4-H director said spoke to me. A lot of silver linings have come out of that. The financial literacy program that's now all online. Some of the other programs that are now online. I think we have learned that there can be a lot of accessibility, a lot of accountability, a lot of transparency that can come through government because of the pandemic, the silver linings. So I'm here to advocate that let's continue the silver linings. Let's continue the open meetings. Let's continue the live streaming. I do like his idea of having a single camera. It should not be private enterprise. It should be a goal of government to allow for accessibility, accountability, transparency. I think regardless of whatever party you might belong to or ideology, I think we all have that in common, wanting a government that is responsive to the people that you serve. So that's what I'm here to advocate, not as a member of League of Women Voters, not as a mom of 2 very civic-oriented girls, but as a citizen saying, please continue to live stream and have that accountability to your constituents.
Thank you, Janice.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate your time.
Amy, do we have any other public comment?
Just double check.
Okay. Amy, you had sent us a name from David Garnier regarding the subdivision regulations. What exactly are you looking for us to do? We talked to Todd, I mean, this was addressed to Todd Peets as far as an option, maybe having it at a different location. Have we heard from Todd?
That was just to the board to see if you wanted to push it from May out a little further, so maybe more people can attend.
I did not get that, that they want to push it out. I mean, we already pushed it out a month.
Yeah,
So where are we getting the?
well, Todd Bragg's involved in that too. Do you want me to bring him in to?
Yeah, because I didn't get that from this email. It was just change the location. I mean, unless I missed something. Did you guys read this?
I didn't.
I remember seeing it, but I don't think I read it.
To conduct a hearing meetings by teleconference, video, and any other they must establish a means through use of the planning and that's why they don't public the notice must you could also consider adding the notice immediately at the conclusion of the public hearing. Or consider adoption of that. And I think it has, this is, yeah, as you know, the board of commissioners public hearing for the subdivision amendments may, but it's not required to be perfected originally. Todd, do you want to comment on, this was an email, or you can give it to Todd, that was sent to Todd Peets by David Garnier.
I am
Yeah,
familiar.
you know what it is?
Yeah.
So, what, I mean,
So, and we had this issue, you'll recall, when we tried to do solid waste. And we actually had public hearings started and then COVID hit. But you have to be prepared to allow people public comment during the public hearing. This room is clearly not adequate, given that you're already gonna have 12 county staff here in terms of making and all that. There is, the state offers the option of virtual participation. That does require a significant commitment in that moment to maintain. I don't know if you guys, Sabrina, I know you were at the meeting yesterday with 24 people, and you gotta constantly scroll through to see who's there and if anybody, I mean, it's, you have to have somebody just monitoring that aspect of things. The other option would be to move this meeting, if you're going to continue with it like in May, to somewhere like Neomed or Maplewood. Even Ravenna High School has often extended us the courtesy of their stadium, their auditorium.
yeah, I think that would
Someplace
probably
like
be
that would
best.
provide, you know, probably significant space. The sad part to public hearings is you often get 2 people, but you have to prepare for a more significant. This is a little bit of a hot button for some of the developers.
Yeah.
The townships are still reviewing, there's mixed reviews coming in, so it's possible that you will have some interest in this of people who would like to give you their feedback. That becomes the issue, so either delaying it to where, which we don't know when that will be, to where we can get this room usable, or moving it to a different location is probably the best alternative.
Okay.
And that's what you're saying, let's move it out a
And
few
is it,
months?
it's
Yeah.
our meeting to move, because
It's your public hearing.
Okay,
It's
our
not
public hearing-
Yeah, you
it
schedule the
was sent
times.
to Todd Pete, so we just need to relay that to Todd, that, have we even picked a date for the meeting yet?
I believe they're proposing May 1st, is that right?
I know it got moved to May, but I did not recall hearing a date. And maybe it's
I think
because
it's
they're
6th.
looking,
The 6th, that first Thursday of May is was proposed. You guys can set it anytime you want it.
And that's for building and subdivisions?
it's for the subdivision
Subdivisions,
regulations that
yeah.
Todd came
Last
in
week.
and reported on last Tuesday, and we had an issue with.
And if you guys set the time, and then we can check with a few venues and then get that advertisement out indicating it. Like I
Yeah.
said, Ravenna High School and Neomed are both very good options, and Maplewood has always been very, very good at working with us
Yeah,
as
and
well.
and Maplewood has a really good sound system.
Yeah,
I
and
know
it
we've
was-
had issue in the past with Ravenna High School. I mean, they
We
make
do
music
have the
like
portable
hell,
one now that Water Resources bought that helps us a little bit in that regard, but you're right.
but- Yeah,
Are
can,
are we
sometime,
trying to schedule it on a Saturday? Is that what we're trying to do?
May 6th.
C6 is.
Oh, because it was, when he said May 1st. that's
Yeah,
what I
that
said.
I was, yeah, I knew it was the
May
beginning
6th.
of May,
Okay.
May
Birthday.
6th.
May 6th.
I'll remember it. Okay, so you wanna get with Todd to see about,
And I don't know if you wanna do it at like 1 o'clock, hold your regular meeting here, recess, and then go out there and do your public hearing, or whether you wanna do your entire day out there, that's up to the board.
Won't we want to do a public hearing like evening?
well, it depends. Sometimes, how many public hearings do we have to have with this? Because we have not done this since 1980s.
We only have to have one.
Yeah, you're only required for the one, you can
Regional
do as many
has-
as you want. but
Yeah,
you're-
regional has their own
Okay.
about this issue.
So when was Todd thinking that we would do it? I mean, I'm not opposed to doing the evening, doing the day, I mean, we've done it all over, so.
I
what
have it
was-
down May 6th at 10:30.
You had it at May 6th, 10:30?
It's just a half an hour.
Meaning part of your normal,
Meeting.
Here,
Meeting.
here.
I
again,
don't
it's
know
it's
if
totally
that's a
your
good idea, because I
discretion.
know we're gonna have some pushback.
I really like, and people have talked about this meeting, many meetings, I think it would be evening for people that are working, that live in subdivisions.
And I think about
To
the
be able to have
builders,
opportunity.
they would be working during the
Yeah.
day to have to stop in the middle of it. So can you see, we could see about doing it at, what, 6 or 7?
Yeah.
Normally when we have our meetings in the evening
I'm trying to get 7.
for public hearings.
Shoot for 7 o'clock.
Maplewood?
Yeah, see if we can get Maple. But you
We'll-
know what?
we'll check all three and see what
Maplewood's
fees.
allowing us to
Yeah.
come in.
Oh, that may be
Yeah.
the problem.
The
Well,
school.
we have the sprayers and we have the UV, we can come in and clean up after ourselves, we can assure them of that. We'll ask a few venues and get the best return for you.
Yeah, we may end up at Maplewood, or
Get the
excuse me,
capacities.
at Neomet, only because I remember Maplewood's board voted, because, you know, they've been back in school
Right,
since
they don't want,
fruition.
yeah,
And because with their schooling and the trades, it's hard to learn virtual, they have to be hands-on. So they are very, very careful who they're letting in there now,
exposed to it, yeah.
just to stay, you know, and they have adult classes in the evening, so they're,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So we'll
Just-
check with a variety of venues for May 6th at 7 o'clock.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
the board's desire.
Yep. And then I think the last thing we have here is our discussion on live streaming. I know we got the quote in for the Wi-Fi, but unfortunately, we had requested Wi-Fi for the entire building, and the quote came in for less than the entire building, but at least covered our floors and certain floors. So Joanne's just double checking on that, because like, they did not include the second and third floor, but I did get an email from Kelly Jo that they feel that they wouldn't necessarily need it on those floors. So our quote may be,
You know, Sabrina, what is to prevent us from getting the audio fixed? Because Lloyd said he didn't even know we had a problem with the audio, and do what we were doing, and still do what you're
oh
wanting to do.
no, we're still gonna move forward with that. Well, the problem was, and you weren't here, because you were still, well, you were doing from home. When Tony and I, well, a good example is Todd Peets came in to, we had the laptop, I think it was over here.
Laptop
People
was
were
there.
screaming, I mean, Todd's in the middle, and they're like, we can't hear.
But
So,
Lloyd said he wasn't told about that, and he.
well, I don't know, we've had a staff
Claire
up
was up
here
there multiple
the
times.
entire time. So I don't know the disconnect, so
Okay.
I can't answer for that.
Well, if
But-
he could fix the audio.
Well, can I
though?
finish what I'm proposing, and then I'll
Sure.
answer your question? So the Wi-Fi quote is in, so Jan, but it did not include Joanne's area either, and they need it because they're doing, like, people that wanna put bids in, they're doing it virtual. So he's gotta get that updated, but it shouldn't take long, and believe it or not, the price is very reasonable. The other thing is, Joanne is working with Lloyd to get the specs for the request for proposal, but Lloyd indicated to her, he doesn't think it'll go over the 50,000 threshold. So where you got, or where he was under the impression it would take months to get a vendor in here, they're not seeing it. And Joanne said
Well,
even.
Lloyd said it would take a while. He said it could
Well,
take
you
months.
said months,
He
yeah.
said it could take months.
Joanne disagrees with that. He said, if it's under 50,000, they think they could be able to get it in here within a couple weeks to get someone in here. I mean, not everyone's busy right now, so
So
it's
we can
not
start
gonna-
in a couple weeks?
Well, we're, first of all, we're waiting on Lloyd, because we need to know the specs of, so we can get it out there, even if we don't have to put it out to bid, we still wanna get a couple quotes to see what exactly we're looking for, and in fairness to the people that are quoting on it. So that's what Joanne's working for, but she said even if it went over 50,000, or thought it would only take 3 weeks to get the bid out and get something decided. And so, but we are looking, you know, to continue. And as far as the video of today, before in the past, we had video recorded our audio, and if you wanted a copy of it, you had to pay $1, we'd burn it, and you pick it up. We had now have it set up that Amy, within, did you get that fixed? Because there was an issue with you trying to
We're gonna
download
work on
Tuesday.
it this afternoon.
Yeah, we can now download the audio to a link on the website, so you can click on the audio and you can hear it for free. You're just not gonna be able to see us until we get the Wi-Fi, and we need new equipment, because you're gonna find today is very hard, especially with the plexiglass and with mask on, is to hear certain things. I mean, I'm talking pretty loud right now, but once we get that, then we will be able to go back to streaming. And then, so there's nothing, I mean, the thing that the paper is spun it that we're trying to hide something, it's just not true. And I know there's some people that thinks we're violating the Open Meetings Act and sunshine laws. We actually are going above and beyond. We're not required to even necessarily release the audio on there unless someone requests it. But we are taking it the extra step so that you can click on to the audio and hear everything. You just won't see us at that time, but you will get our minutes and you will be able to hear the audio for the entire meeting. And that's the best that we can do. Tony, do you want to make any comments on?
No, I mean, you said it, I mean, the sunshine law, we're violating public information and violating people's rights. That by far is anything. There's some excuse that, because I don't wear a mask, you guys reported that a bunch. I'm a doctor by trade, and there isn't any reason to do that. But I think we have fulfilled that. I think the audio will be good, and when we have the video come up, it's going to be excellent.
And the people that we have talked to that have called us, once we explain it, because both the Record Courier and the Portage spun it that, oh, it was because we weren't wearing masks or Commissioner Ballin, that is further from the truth. Because we always have, Brian has always recorded our sessions and he posted it. And so the thing they did not elaborate on is that this is what we had done for 3 years. Why was it that for 3 years it was never questioned? But now all of a sudden we're hiding something when we're actually enhancing that we're gonna have the audio until we go back to streaming. We're gonna have the audio available for you just to click on. You're not gonna have to pay for it. You're not gonna have to call our clerk and come in and pick up your CD and pay $1. Now you're gonna be able to hear the audio. And they're like, well, we need it posted right away. Well, you know what? We have a county to run. Our clerk has other duties besides sitting here. She will get it out as fast as she can. I mean, Amy, what is a hypothetical? The shortest you could get it out, the longest, because we're not going to tie you to it's going to be down because things come up. I mean, we run a $50 million enterprise basically, and so Amy, hypothetically, what are you thinking you would be able to download it within like 24 hours, 48 hours?
Well, I know you guys were talking about putting the video out when the minutes are approved for that day.
But I told you, I thought,
Could
get
go
the
out
audio
earlier.
out first.
Yeah, it could go out earlier, but, I mean, like now, we're having trouble getting it to upload because I'm not technical in learning, so.
When will you have your video? I don't know who you are. I'm Tony.
Hi, Tony, my name's Ed Bast, I'm a tax-paying resident
Okay.
of Aurora.
Are you
I
going
was
to
just
place it on
asked-
YouTube?
I was asked to help. This is going right now
Okay,
on the
great.
Portager Facebook
Okay.
Live.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
cool.
people
Thank
can
you. So we
see
can
it
see
now.
it.
There's been many people watching and they're very happy with the audio. Just
Okay,
so-
very good. Excellent.
But again, they still feel that it should be in public than you guys do, with our taxpayers.
And we will. It's just, we're gonna
Okay.
do the proper thing and get the proper equipment. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
people are alarmed that we don't have Wi-Fi. I mean, we've been asking for it. I mean, even before this, this quote was asked for.
If I could comment just on my
Sure.
consumer cellular phone, which is not the best, you have a very good Wi-Fi speed right here on PC Pub. Okay, you have an excellent Wi-Fi coverage right here, right now. This is just an Android phone, the directional mic, nothing special.
Mhm.
It's just a phone with a mic that aims towards you and it's picking up everything peripheral.
Thank
But you
very
have great
much.
Wi-Fi now.
Thank you for coming out.
I don't know where you're getting the Wi-Fi from because our Wi-Fi, we only have Wi-Fi on the network and it's blocked.
Well,
You
that
can't
might be-
get into
That might be your,
It is our system.
your personal
county
system, but for PC Pub, for the public, you do speed test and it's 60.
But see, we would not use a public because.
Oh, I
it would make us
understand, except it's
vulnerable.
going into the public, that's, you know.
Okay,
Great, thank you.
Right, I'm just saying that I'm not logged into that Wi-Fi,
yeah.
and I can't even check my Facebook. So, all respect to my friends at the Portager, I didn't know how their Wi-Fi was, how their recordings are gonna turn out. They may not show up at the Tuesday work sessions like I try to. And one other thing I wanted to let you guys know is that audio does not tell the whole story. And if I was covering this meeting with the audio recording, I wouldn't know who was speaking from the sheriff's office and who,
Well,
because
we
I
asked
don't know their
them,
voices.
Diane, to state their names and,
Right.
And David Lair.
positions, and they did.
It is, I like visual too, I'm a visual person,
Mm-hmm.
and tactile, and so I completely agree with you guys. I don't have any disagreement. We're gonna do it right. And we have, because this has only been going on for about 3-4 weeks, that we've been doing these Zoom meetings, and computer here, people are upset about her clacking on the computer, and sitting where Brian is, there'd be a little laptop on a cardboard box.
And I think
Doesn't
that
work very well.
people don't understand when they say, well, we've been Zooming for 11 months. No, we've been Zooming from our personal computers. It's, once we came back, because I can even tell you, I was the only commissioner that used to come in for the Zoom meetings in my office, and my connection was so bad, and I can show you. I have a hardwired notebook, Chrome notebook that I used to Zoom on, because I have an iPad, a county iPad, and I kept losing my connection, and I didn't even know it until Kathleen said, Sabrina, do you realize that you're like dropping and you're like freezing? I'm like, no, because I could still see people moving. So I have my Chrome notebook, it's hardwired because the Wi-Fi was bad and my connection was bad. So I know it's an issue, but again, moving into the new millennium, why wouldn't our county building have Wi-Fi at the very least? So
May I
we
say
are
I
hearing
agree
you
with
loud
all
and
that.
clear, and we are moving in the right direction, and we are hoping to have, a pretty decent, because even before this, people complained they couldn't hear us on this, and so, as you can see, our equipment's, I'm sure, I don't know how old it
2012.
is, but it's pretty old. And so it's time that we update, and we can streamline, and we have no problem, obviously, if the public wants to come in and stream, that's fine, but we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it right, so. Okay?
May I just
Yes.
say
Go
something?
ahead, Jan.
Yeah, while I haven't been here before, I am
Okay.
very active with the Crestwood School Board and going to
Yes.
their meetings. And over the last 5, 6, 7 years,
Yep.
I've gone to every meeting. And maybe there would be a handful of people,
Right.
maybe, usually under 5, that would be there as well with the public. Generally, it was either my daughter and I, or just me, as the only member of the public at the meetings. But since they have streamed, they're regularly getting 40 people plus watching the school board meetings, which is fantastic.
Well,
So,
it's a
I know you
convenience
mentioned, you know,
factor, it's because you don't have to watch it while they're doing it.
right,
It's posted afterwards, and that's what we found, Tony can elaborate on the numbers. I mean,
Max of 150, minimum of 4.
yeah,
You're right about, the average is about 20 to 30 people.
Right.
And we get that, and you're absolutely correct. The more people that want to engage this and sit there and have dinner or whatever, it is good.
Yeah.
And again, I think it has to be good so it really serves the public. And that's where I stand.
Do we have a timeline though? I mean, is it a month, 2 months?
no, there, again, as I stated earlier, Joanne's trying to get the specs from Lloyd so they can at least get vendors in to quote it, so we know how to move, so.
And I understand all that, and I agree with everything you've said. However, I just don't understand why we just can't do what we were doing before and have Lloyd fix the audio so we don't have complaints. I mean, just so this can continue until we get a more professional way to do it. That's all.
Well, the key is a professional way.
Right.
And it's a disruption, and again, you weren't here to see how disruptive it is. I mean, it's hard enough for us to try to keep count of the people in the room, let alone we've got people screaming. Well, actually, we had the iPad sitting on a cardboard box, and what people don't understand, it would be like me taking my Chrome notebook that I'm supposed to be zooming in individually, but I'm putting it out there to encumber the whole room and all the conversations. So that's why we're not gonna do it until it's done the proper way. And in the meantime, we are gonna do the audio releases so people can still hear everything. But we are moving in the right direction. Tony, did you have anything else you wanna comment?
I don't know.
Well, you know, Sabrina, you keep saying I wasn't here. I missed 2 meetings, and I told you folks before we started going live that I wanted to wait till I got my
Absolutely.
vaccines to come in.
Oh, sure.
Yes, you
And
did.
then a commissioner was complaining that I was not here, so I thought, you know, we've got enough problems without,
Were you complaining about it?
without me having any more problems. So that's why I came in, but I missed 2 meetings.
I don't know who was complaining, but I wasn't complaining because I understood that, you know, you're in a vulnerable age group, and I was fine with it. And I said, you know, when we decided to open the building back up, and I said, you know, can we stream in case Vicky wants to wait? And so, I don't know, I didn't complain, so I don't know. But, okay, we have a motion to adjourn?
Wait, I have a question.
Oh, go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am.
Discussion on Tuesday. What do you want Todd to bring in and?
I think on Tuesday we need to discuss the sheriff's proposal for cars, the fleet. Because like I said, we can't get that, and in the future, I think we need to share with them, if they have information like that, they need to give it to us ahead of time, just like we ask everyone else to digest. We can't get thrown at the 7th hour.
That was a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah.
I agree.
And-
Ralph would
and-
have done that for
Yeah,
us.
because we need to be able to make decisions based on the information and let us ask questions and, you know, so let's put that on for Tuesday. All right, do we?
Motion to adjourn, please.
Second? Roll call, Amy?
Tony,
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes, Nikki?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you everyone for commenting.
Thank you.